Hello and welcome to this lecture about Unity Overview. In this lecture, we will explore the scene view. In the last lecture, I forgot to mention Unity layouts. When you start Unity for the first time, it will open in the default layout. You can select different layouts by going to Window, Layouts. Here you can select the layout that you want. There is 2x3. There is 4 split. There is default layout. There is tall and there is wide layout. For now, I'm going to stick with the default layout. So back to the scene view. To navigate in the scene view, you can use your mouse. The middle button of the mouse, when you scroll it, it will zoom in and out. The right mouse button, when you hold it and move the mouse, it will rotate the camera. If you hold Alt key and hold the left mouse button, it will also rotate the rotate the camera. And the right mouse button, when holding it while holding Alt, it will zoom in and out. So Unity is a 3D editor. It means that you will be working in 3D space, and there are many tools that will assist you. First one is the handle. When you select a game object, any game object, you will notice 3 arrows. One arrow is green, one is red, and one is blue. Now they are actually in local orientation, so I'm going to change it to global. These arrows represent the axis. This one is the x-axis, this is the z-axis, and the green arrow is the y-axis. You can change between the orientation of the handle from the global. This is the global. It will be shown here as this is for the world. The y-axis will point to the top of the world. But if you change it to local, you will notice that they have changed. Now the green or the y-axis, it's not pointing to the top. It's pointing in an angle because it's now pointing to the top relative to the game object itself, the orientation of the game object. The Z will point to the forward of the game object, and the red will point to the right of the game object. Another tool is the center pivot. This one you can toggle between the center and the pivot. For the light, it doesn't make a difference because the pivot is actually at the center. But for the game objects, that the center is the pivot is in a different position than the center. So when you select pivot, it will move to the pivot of the game object. We spoke about this one, local and global. You can select between global and local orientation. This is for the toggling the visibility of the grid. This is the grid. It will help you place the game objects in the scene. You can toggle the grid on and off, as well as the opacity of the grid. This is for snapping increment. It helps in to increment the move of the game object when you place it. We will talk about all of this later in the working in 3D mode. This is to adjust the draw mode or select whether you want to display the game objects shaded or in wireframe. I'll just add now a cube to show you what it does. Wireframe, it will remove the shading. Okay. There is the 2D. It will switch between 2D mode and 3D mode. This is to enable and disable the scene lights. This is to toggle the audio on and off. These are other toggles for skybox, fog, flares. And this is to toggle the hidden items or the hidden game objects on and off. This is to adjust the scene camera. Right now, when you zoom to the game object, you will notice that it will start to disappear. This is called clipping. When the object gets too close to the camera, it will start to clip. The camera will start to see what's behind the object. So you can adjust the distance at where the camera will start to clip. You can increase it, so when the game object is still far from the camera, it will start clipping. Or you can set it to dynamic clipping. Okay, so this is for the overview for the scene view window. In the next lecture we are going to talk about the game view. See you then.